You're watching Women's Wrestling Week, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and I am not alone. I have some amazing folks with me, amazing co-hosts. We're going to start. She hails from the Valley. She is the farmer's daughter. I've yet to meet Farmer Albert. Please welcome Emily May.
Hi everyone, happy to be here for another week. It's exciting.
I know, the beauty of technology. And
right?
our new co-host, you have to check out his Instagram. I'm thoroughly impressed. I have to take some of his moves, but he has moves, which is Melina's kind of intro dance. You can see him doing it on the couch all the time if you follow his IG. Please welcome Bryant Santos.
Hi guys, so excited to be here. Me and MJ were talking off screen. I feel like she's my spirit animal, so can't wait to get into this with her.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I'm going to tell you a little story about MJ that MJ doesn't even know. However, I just announced our guest before I did the intro, but this is live. This is what we do. She is a sports entertainer. She's a singer. She's the leader of the Marvelous Ones and a whole lot of women. Please welcome MJ Jenkins.
Hi, y'all.
Hey, welcome.
Woo. Okay.
So here's the backstory with MJ and I that MJ has no idea. So essentially what happened, we're on episode, I keep on forgetting to count how many episodes we're at right now, but we're on episode 100 and something. But I first noticed MJ I first noticed you, MJ, when you were in the Mae Young class, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this woman's amazing. Her hair is like just everything about you. And my thing was, I kind of knew that once, like sometimes WWE and WWE in general is kind of as far as getting interviews, as you guys know, if you've been following us for a long time, sometimes it's a little bit harder to get interviews from folks from WWE. So I wanted to make sure I got MJ before she got signed, because I knew she was going to get signed. And I wanted to get her before she got signed to WWE, because I knew it'd be a minute before I ever get her on the show. So I sent her emails, I DM'd, I did all this other stuff, and no response. So it was just kind of one of those things where it's just, it's like when we found out that
my bad.
I think TK's holding this in a
right?
little bit. I think she's been harboring some feelings.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
at all. The long story short, I am so happy that we finally got you on the show. And the beauty of technology. My thing is, I don't give up. So it's not one of those things where I was offended and it's like, oh my gosh, he's not WC. Yeah, it's not one of those things. It's one of those things that it's like, eventually it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
This show's not stopping anytime soon. But I often like to let folks know that's like, hey, like you've been on the radar, like you should have been on the show like a year ago, but it's okay. You are forgiven and you're on the show now.
Forgiven, girl, bye.
Oh.
Just messing. But thank you so much for coming on the show. Kind of let's just start off from the beginning. Like what got you into wrestling? What's your passion?
Oh man, so growing up, right? This was just something that me and my family members always watched. We always watch, Raw, SmackDown. I remember growing up, when Impact was on Spike TV, I would watch Impact Wrestling. So I was just always a fan growing up. I would even go to the live events and all this other stuff. So I just grew up liking it, and I grew up while other kids were busy playing with Barbie dolls and stuff, I had my Barbies, don't get me wrong, because, but there would be a mattress, and then there would be the playground, and me and my brother would be doing swanton bombs off of the slide, and I got in trouble for it. Well, I kind of told a little lie. I was like, no, mommy, it wasn't me. But that was just me. So it was something that I knew I just always wanted to do. And after I graduated high school, I tried college. I left. I went back to school for a business communications. And then, one of my teachers was like, just as a goal, write down all your goals that you want to do in life. And I wrote down professional wrestling as my top goal. And one thing is I erased it and put something else, and then put professional wrestling second. And so my teacher, I remember her name was Kay King Jack. She was like, come here. I was like, oh crap, here we go. I know she's gonna say something like, and she was like, well, I noticed that you had written professional wrestling here and then you erased it. Like, why would you put it second? Well, why'd you erase it? I was like, oh, because sometimes, it's not really like a job. It's not anything that's gonna, help me out with the skills that I learned here. She was like, but is that what you want to really do? I said, yeah, she said, then do it. You should do it. And we just had like a full-blown conversation. Turns out her son was like a collegiate wrestler and she just pushed me to do it. So after, doing the college and then the business school, I was like, ooh, I'm going to go for what I really want. And yeah, that was that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Teachers are so inspiring when you have someone that's going to push you like that. When you started training and going through that process for the first time, what was that moment that you knew that you really wanted to be a part of this business? Because it's tough out there.
Oh man, so I can say, I remember the first day, and I started training at a World of Unpredictable Wrestling, Johnny Rodz in Brooklyn, New York. He's a WWE Hall of Famer. And Johnny has this way of trying to like dig into you to really see through your soul to see if this is really what you want to do. And he like holds no punches. And I was just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I'll do it. No, I'll come tomorrow. Like nothing, like there was no fear in me. Like once I stepped in that building and like I saw the wrestling ring, the moment I took my first bump, oh Lord, it was just like, yeah, it hurt. And my head was like, woo. But it was just like, I think it's just that moment of actually walking there, having that interview, stepping in the ring. I just knew like, no matter what, like this is just what I wanted to do. And in the training there was so vigorous, and I would stay there from at least 3 until like the lights were being shut off and they would have to kick me out the ring. And I had one of my trainers, Roger, he would just be like, do you want to do this to be a diva or do you want to be a wrestler? And I would be like exhausted physically doing it over and over and pushing myself through it. And that's just, yeah. Once I got into the ring, like I just knew, like I knew I was going to put up with, if I could put up with everything I was going through there, I could put up with anything else for sure.
So tell us about like your character and your look. Like it's one of those things where with some wrestlers they just don't have it figured out. Like they haven't figured out exactly what their avenue is. And for you, it's just like you had it and or you have it. So what inspired you? Like you just have it together. Like character wise, there's no issues. So what inspired you to create this character, or is this is just you, this MJ?
So the truth is, the character isn't necessarily a character. It's just me. It's me, and it's me times 1,000. It's like me mixed with a lot of sugar and some vanilla, and it's like little Powerpuff Girls, but it's everything minus the creation, because it was actually me that. It was just all of my inspirations. Like I love to sing. I grew up singing. I would record myself singing, and if I wasn't if I hadn't chosen to do this as my main path, I would have been a singer, So that's where you came from, me, singing my entrance live, when I'm performing, me singing in the ring, me doing the Afro pack. My thing is like, I've had my hair natural for so long that it was just something that came natural. So the me saying I'm Afro-licious and oh so vicious, then me doing my Afro pat, girl, you pat your hair because you got them braids, you got that sewing, you got something that's like, and it was always something that people are like, why that girl patting her hair? And it's like, no, I'm gonna pat my weave and I'm gonna be A-okay, like, so really a whole lot of woman is just everything that I am. It is all of my confidence, all of my sass, and it's just really me accepting myself. Accepting myself as MJ Jenkins, as being like Black and proud and being outspoken and being like just, honey, it's just really like being myself, So it's just something that's accumulated from like my influences, even from stop it, my puppy's whining. is even things from like movies. Like I'm a huge fan of Beyonce, so the movie she was in, when she says she's Cleopatra, she's a whole lot of woman. It was like, no, I'm a whole lot of woman, like I'm MJ Jenkins, I'm a whole lot.
Yes.
It's just, so really everything that the character is, is just me and from inspirations and growing up and things that I like, really. So that's why I'm able to just do it and be, and it's not like, hey, there's just something we want to give you. Try it out and we'll see how it goes. No.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want to know, like you mentioned being Black and proud, which I absolutely love. And, we're definitely seeing more representation in the wrestling world for, people of color, especially Black women. So do you think there's still work to be done, and what can we do to kind of show more visibility for Black women?
I absolutely think there's still more work to be done. I do think it's good, like people out there that is being represented. However, I still feel like I'm not at a place to where I feel like it's enough. I think it's really important that we all work together, to put ourselves out there, because at the end of the day, if a certain company, has like, okay, we can only have this and this and this because they need representation for everybody, then no matter how many opportunities are there, sometimes a minority group may still lack in getting that opportunity. And that's not to say, oh, company's racist. No, it's just like a demographic thing. But the more we work together and the more that we support one another, like out of nowhere, I know you guys, if you did see the photo shoot that we did, that was literally Bianca Belair saying, we have so many girls here and not that many are being represented, and everyone knows that, hey, we actually have a whole team of melanin over here. So her just being herself, and just wanting to promote like women and wanting to promote all shades of brown, that's how that happened. So her just being herself and wanting to support us made that whole video and photo shoot happen, and then it became a thing, all over social media. So I feel like the more that we support one another and the more that we stick up for one another, especially if we know something shady may be going on, together we're stronger separate. We're stronger together than being separate. So yeah, I think that's what will make the change for sure.
I love that.
Yeah. So you started in 2015. Like that photo shoot was everything for me. I absolutely loved it.
We did cover it on the show. Yeah,
we did. You started in 2015. As far as let's talk a little bit more about hair. As far as hair is concerned, did you find promoters just wanting to like change your look to conform to the masses, or did they allow you to just be who you are?
So I actually started training in 2010. But I did get my break. I believe the 2015 was when I got when I did like a show on Evolve. Like that was one of my first times breaking out in a major company per se. So I can say that I've heard certain things from different people that told me I needed to Europeanize my look more, because they didn't think that certain companies would like it, because of what they saw. All the, girls of color that were being used either had the straight hair or the different colors, or they had the long flowing weave. And my thing was, the moment I stopped being what everyone else told me I should be, even with my character, because I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Sumner Projects, that's right near Marcy Projects, where Jay-Z is well known. Like everyone thought that I was going to be this rough, tough Brooklyn girl. And I'm like, there's so much layers in how, don't try to confine what it is to be Black or brown. Like we cannot be conformed. So I've had people tell me something like, oh yeah, you're not going to make it just because I was, Black, or I had people tell me I needed to change my hair. But the interesting thing is, certain companies like WWE, they didn't want me to change that. They absolutely loved it. I remember my first, I did a tryout at the Arnold Classic, And mind you, they had these helmets, these little helmets for people who didn't know how to and for safety. And mind you, I had my afro out. My afro was like, you know, like the twist outs like you have, but girl, it was like boom.
Massive,
my afro was big because, you know, honey, hair thick was thick. So my hair was out there. And I was like, I think maybe I should straighten my hair or maybe put this. And Matt Boone was like, hold on, straighten, no. He said to me, why would you do that? He said, for one, I'm pretty sure you don't need that helmet because it looks like you know what you're doing. And I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, two, your hair is perfect. Don't change it. It makes you stand out. It makes you unique. No one else is doing it. Keep your hair. So that was like 2016. And even when I did like, you know, Impact, you know, Gail Kim was one of my biggest supporters. She absolutely loved everything about me, from my hair, from my look, from everything. So from other people, like what mattered, I never got like the pushback to be something different. It was really embraced. So I really appreciated that.
Now, let's get into, you know, the news type stuff. So you recently were released from a WWE, but you did an interview and you talked about, you know, I'm kind of sad too, but I don't think it's the end. This show has we predict things, so this show, you know, I don't think it's the end for you. But after, like, you did say in an interview that, you know, if you had a chance, you would go to AEW. Who would your first match be against, or what would you want your storyline to be?
Oh man, there's so much. I could say I would love to do like this whole like intergender tag team storyline. Like I would love to feud with Penelope. Yes. Definitely. I would love to feud with her. And, you know, they have so much great men there. So, you know, I'm sure I could be teamed up with somebody. I would definitely love that, just because I love the dynamics and the feeling that you get, you know, when it's just everything combined. I think that would make major. It would be something really, really great. Yeah. Yeah, so that's just one thing off the mind I can really say, definitely with her.
That would be so exciting.
Yes.
I would love to know, like, looking back at your time in WWE, did you have, as you were training at the Performance Center, and did you have a favorite trainer that you just loved working with, and how was that whole process?
So my favorite trainer definitely is Norman Smiley. Oh man, because Norman, he pulls no punches, and even though he pulls no punches, when he tells you something, it's like a little funny jab at you, you know, certain things. But he's just really the importance of wrestling. He is so attention to detail on everything that you can spend an hour with Norman and you come out knowing at least 5 or more things that makes the biggest difference. So that whole process of being there with him was extremely great. When I first started there, I was with Robbie Brookside. Oh my goodness, he, in my opinion, he was like the blow up king. He tested you to your limits, and it was like, don't you stop. And we had like his Brookshire shuffles. Oh my gosh, he would make sure like he would do all these things to test your cardio, your footing, and your capability of like moving fluently. Oh man, it was just really fun there. And the most thing that I really appreciate about being there was a lot of times we had so many guest coaches. You know, different people coming through. We had a lot of people that were there and already moved on, even outside, that would always come back, and we were allowed to pick their brains and everything. Like, man, the Rock King, he was there. You know, John Cena came by, he was there. Edge, you know, has come by. You know, some of the women on the roster would come down and you know, talk with us. You know, train with us. You know, Natalia would. Mickey James, I was in the ring just, training and just putting my body through some stuff, and she's just sitting there watching me. And I was like, hey, Mickey, what do you think about this? And all of a sudden, just boom, like it was just really like incredible. And not for nothing, I'll tell you a story. My second week of being there, all of a sudden, we're all sitting around and we're just like, okay, we having a little townhouse meeting, okay. And then in walks Paul Heyman. And he has his little strut. Dun, dun, dun. Like, you would have thought he was walking. You would have thought he was walking like you would have really thought he was walking in with Brock Lesnar from his flag. It's like, and I was just like, and everybody was like, yeah, and I was like, oh, And before I knew it, I was in a promo class with Paul Heyman. My second week in there, and they're picking people left and right to go, and I was just like, and I was like, y'all better put me in this class. If I'm not in this class, And all of a sudden I get up and I go in there and I do this promo, and he was just like, didn't you just get here? I was like, yeah. He was like, how much? This is your second week? I was like, yeah. He was like, who trained you? Where did you? I was like, Johnny Rods, and then I've been at the Dudley Boys. And he was like, I am going to tell them, thank you. Yes, this is what we need. This is a star promo. This is what we need on TV. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. He was like, I don't even have any critiques to say. I mean, man, if WrestleMania was to happen and something was to go wrong, we need people like this to come in here and just talk and get the crowd. And I was just like, in my mind, I was just like, thank you. But inside, I'm like, yeah. I wanted to celebrate and everything. But, it's just, being there and having those people of such a high caliber to work with, and then knowing that everything that you are is like on point, that was just like, that was like a highlight for me for being there, for sure.
Oh my
gosh. That's amazing.
I love that story.
Yeah. Same. I want to know, because we talked about what's happening for you next, and you mentioned your singing aspect, your musical aspect. So I want to know if you want to dabble in more of that, release an album or anything like that.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely do. And the funny thing is, I can be so timid about my voice that I'm like, oh, what if he doesn't like it? But when I would sing on all the live shows, everyone would be like, is that MJ? They were like, oh my gosh, she can really sing. So definitely, I most definitely want to do singing more. I even want to go into roles, acting roles that is around surrounding singing. So what I am going to do, I did start a YouTube channel, and it's Marvelous MJ. So I'm like, you know what? To start off, I'm going to start just doing covers.
Yeah.
And so, stay tuned, because on my YouTube channel, you're going to start seeing me doing cover songs, and that's how I'm just going to slowly and steady, release. I know an album takes so much work, so I'm going to start with doing cover songs, and then you'll see a single here or there.
Yes,
love that.
Who's your favorite person? Yeah, that sounds so exciting. Who's your favorite person right now that you want to cover? Do you have your list of
Lizzo? Lizzo, for sure. I love her. Like Lizzo is an embodiment of absolutely what is a whole lot of woman too, because somebody could be a whole lot of woman, somebody could be a whole lot of man, somebody could be a whole lot of anything. That's just owning yourself and being true to yourself, so Lizzo, she is especially for women of more full-figured, curvy women, sometimes they don't be getting that love that they need when they should be, so I just love everything that she is. So definitely Lizzo. I'ma definitely cover my homegirl Beyonce. I'm saying, well, not homegirl.
Yes,
I feel like I know her. I'm saying? Beyonce. I did. When I used to live in Sumner Project, when her and Jay-Z was at Marcy and they were giving out toys on Christmas, guess who ran? I ran all the way from Sumner, and I went to Marcy and I saw her. I was like, hi, Beyonce. Yes, that's my first time ever seeing Beyonce and being hands reach of her. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely cover her. Lizzo, Beyonce, and Normani. I like her too.
Oh yeah, she's good.
Oh yes.
So another thing I've noticed is that, you know, you the bad news happened with WWE, but you
Mhm.
didn't let it stop you. Like, you hit the ground running. Like, your social media didn't stop. You created a whole YouTube page. Even
Mhm.
prior to that, you have, this is what I really love, even beyond wrestling, as far as people in entertainment. You're a brand with or without that company, whatever company
Mhm.
it is. And, you know, one, I want to know, is this like all you, or do you have like a team, or what kind of kept you going with all these projects?
So, after like a day or so of sobbing, um, like I just knew that I had to do something, and I have a lot of like really good friends that would like just keep me in check and let me know like, okay, this happened, but you got to keep going. So, one of my friends, he has actually been helping me create the website. Like he's like, hey,
Okay.
you want to get on something? What do you want to do? Like, I have this thing here. What are you doing? And I was like, oh, I kind of want to do this, but I don't, And then he's like, nope, let's do it. I got this website. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna need shirts. I'm gonna need a logo. Then I realized I had fans. There's this one fan. He he did like this design art for me, like just a while ago when I was still signed. And I went to him and was like, hey, could you think you could make me something for a shirt? All of a sudden, he came out with just so many different things. So it's really just like, a team of friends and then like more support and somebody, my friend Zen Lucia, he already had his website that I'm on. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go. So it really is just like a support team of like, certain people calling me, helping me out. Deanna has been really helpful too with me, which is getting me in contact with certain people to make sure that I have like a certain amount of income coming through, even certain people from NXT, they've called me like, hey, after this clears up, if you're still out there, by so and so and so and so bookings to come up, it's just like I'm so thankful for like the relationships that I've built with people because that's made me, keep going. And I got a photo shoot coming up.
Ooh.
So
Yes,
there'll be some more.
Was there any advice that your like support group and friends and people at NXT and WWE gave you to kind of help you get through this rough time?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest, like everyone from X-Pac, he was one of my mentors. Everyone from X-Pac to the coaches, Scotty to even medical, people in medical, Naomi even reached out to me, and me and her are cool. Like Bianca, it's just been like such a, Casey Catanzaro, everyone has been reaching out to me and they're just telling me, like a mixture of different things, like, this place, even though this has happened, this doesn't define you. That was the main thing because I think so many people hold the being at WWE such a status and they think, and then because they know it was a dream of mine since I was a little girl, you think that if that's gone, then that's it for you, So I feel like when several people told me, like, this doesn't define you, you define you, I've gotten the, MJ, you are so talented and you are a rare breed. There's something, everything that you are is something rare and you have something special to offer to the business. It was like, so, this place is not the end all be all. And just know that you're going to be okay because you have such raw and authentic talent. Like you're going to be okay. And I would get different messages, like just keep your head up. If you ever need anything, we can talk anytime. Just hit me up anytime. It's just really everyone telling me like, certain people were extremely shocked too. They were just like, no way. Like, one of my good friends, Brianna Brandy, they were just trying out a tag team with me and her. She couldn't believe it either, a lot of people wasn't shocked and they were just like, everything about you, you have so much charisma. You can get on that microphone and rip it like no other. You have a natural connectivity with fans. They was like, so hearing all of this and everything they were doing, they were just building my confidence, building my self-esteem, and they were taking away all of the pain that I was feeling from my personal, from losing, a father figure, to also my professionally life. Like, everybody was being uplifting and letting me know, like, you're going to be okay. And not just that, you know who you are. So it won't be, even if it's not this platform, once you get on another platform, whoever it is, you're a star. Like, you're a star and you know it. And just because it didn't get shown to its full capability on this platform, guess what? It's going to be somewhere else. So that's how I wake up. I literally woke up this morning, and this was one of the days, because I've had Tainara. She's actually been like supporting me, and we've been talking back and forth, and just like speaking with her too. It's like, she's like, MJ, her little sexy accent, like, MJ, you are, you know what you are, you know what you're capable of, so everything's going to work out. Basically, that was the gist of it. So that's what's kept me going, the whole support from everybody. And then me waking up and being like, honey, you are all that in a bag of chips. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing too with WWE, we often see them, bring people back. And the good thing, like I mentioned before, as far as character, like, you have everything that it takes. So it's one of those things where, when I did hear the news, I wasn't necessarily like, oh my gosh, well, where is she going to go now? Or we're never going to see her again. That happens to some wrestlers, because, they're not really in it because of the love of wrestling. We all know that.
Right.
So it's one of those things where, I didn't worry, because, it's only a matter of time. But, you did touch a little bit about COVID-19 and how you lost your father figure, your brother-in-law. With that, my frustration, because I'm kind of essentially going through the same thing you are, as far as family members. What do you have to say to folks who are just, they're still going to the beach, and they're like just trying to live their best life? It's like, no, people are legitimately dying, young and old. What do you have to say to them?
The problem is, I feel like most people, they feel like they're invincible. Like, I feel like most people think that they are invincible, and certain things, they always feel like, oh, that's not going to happen to me, it happens to someone else. I would just say, count your blessings, like, and be grateful. I don't wish for anything ill to happen to them, or to happen to someone that's close to them, but they should really be careful and move with caution. If they say wash your hands, wash your hands. If they say, wear a mask when you go outside, I'm not gonna lie, I still go outside. I take my puppy for walks and all that stuff. But me, I have a mask. Just take it serious, because this is nothing to play with, and you don't want to be the cause of someone else getting sick, and you don't want to get sick and cost yourself, your own life. So I just would take it serious if I was in their shoes.
Yeah.
Emily?
Do you have, I know a lot, like WWE and AEW are starting to kind of do these empty arena shows. We've seen that in the last few months. How do you feel like it's changing? This is going to change the wrestling industry?
Well, I think this is only temporary. And I'm glad it's only temporary, because the thing is, you need the crowd there. No, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, both companies have been doing a great job. I actually enjoyed WrestleMania. I watched it. Like, it's great. So I just think that, like, luckily this is only for a short period of time, because the truth is, you need the crowd. Like, we feed off the crowd feeds off of us. It's like a call and response. So when you don't have that call and response, you lose certain elements that makes moments special. Like you got to think about it, when it was The Rock versus John Cena, and they turned their head from side to side slowly like this. Each way they turned their head, the crowd went nuts chanting one him, and then they changed to chant the other side. Like, certain things like that, or when some of the 1, 2, 3 and the pop goes off, or the clap to, like, it's a feeling. Like, that's why wrestling is so real and it's so authentic because no matter what, you feel it, you know? So I feel like the feeling is, the realness of the feeling is missing. And luckily, because of people have being so vocal and they're being a little bit more dramatic with their characters, and their promos are even more like, it's making everyone step up. That is the good thing. It's making everyone step up to be more animated and going for it more promo wise. But we definitely need the crowd there. So hopefully when everything turns back to normal, and this will be, hey, it's COVID-19 season, just like, the flu is another virus. It's going to be, hey, it's flu season. It's going to, I really believe it's going to turn into, hey, it's COVID-19 season. Hey, it's flu season. Just be safe. I feel like once that's over, everything's going to, be okay.
So let's say, everything's going to be okay. And let's say in my universe, WWE's like, oh, we made a huge mistake. You coming back? What would be your storyline? What would be the storyline?
Yeah, check that one.
The tea
is one. Well, I'll drink something.
What storyline did you like? Do you want to do, or did you hope that you could have done?
Excuse me, a little burp. Dang, that was strong. Let's see. Oh man, what storyline would I want to do if I was still there, or if I was to come back? I would say the main thing I would want to do is just to be introduced, because that's the most important thing. Like, a lot of people know a bit about me. However, it's like the whole gist of who I am and what I can do in the ring has yet to been on full display. So I feel like that would be one of the main things, is like, let's do the video packages, let's do the whole shebang.
Get all those promos.
Like, let's give out those promos that I am well capable of doing, and that I can, within a drop of a dime, you say, go, give me the mic and I'm going, So I feel like that's just one of the main things. And the main person I would want to work with, I've had the privilege, me and her both had the privilege of working with each other. I would love, 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 love to work with Rhea Ripley again. Like, we worked each other for the Mae Young Classic. However, like, everything that she's become so much more, and now it's like, I would love to crack at it again, and mainly because we're so different from each other. When you put the different type of people in the ring together, and even the way that she talks, her whole body, her whole presence, everything is so day and night towards me, that in the ring wise and storyline wise would just make something, extremely, extremely special. I would definitely love to feud with Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
She is oh man, and everything that she's doing now in this new character, and then she has Raquel with her. Oh man, let me tell you, me and Raquel have had some amazing matches that if you guys were to see, oh my goodness, I think that is a story to be told, because who MJ Jenkins is, I'm not going to be alone either. So I have my posse, my backup crew, and then it just makes a whole, mind-blowing thing. Oh yes, yes. So yeah,
I love it.
So now, who would be on your Mount Rushmore of women's wrestlers?
Women's wrestlers, I'm gonna say Sweet Georgia Brown. Yes, she is the first ever African American NWA Women's Champion. She would be there. I'm gonna say Chyna. She's definitely gonna be there. Yes, definitely. I'm gonna go with Lita as well. Man, because growing up, I'm telling you, I was that girl who used to be like, damn it, and I wanted to be cool like Lita, like I remember,
we all
like,
did.
yeah, like I like, like she was the reason why, like when I first started training, I would just want to do high flying moves all the time. I would jump off the rope, head scissors, hurricane, and boom, boom, boom. I would do all the stuff because she's just so unique. Yes, so let me see. How many people is on? Okay. So right, like 4 or 5, 4, yeah. So I'm gonna definitely say Lita, China, Sweet, Georgia Brown, and who's one more person? Me.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yes.
Ain't no woman on Rushmore without MJ Jenkins. Whole lot of woman. Yes, I'm be up there.
I love it. So we're gonna get into rapid hot tags real quick. So what's gonna happen? I'm gonna ask you a question. You're gonna say the first thing that comes to the top of your mind. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So always early or always late?
Always early.
What is the one thing you love about yourself?
My smile.
Who would play you in a movie?
Tiana Taylor.
If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
Turquoise.
And if you were to if you were to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Beyonce, Dangerously in Love.
Oh, I love that one. All right. See?
Yes.
That was good.
Yeah,
So now
I love it.
So now Emily's gonna bring us some news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we got some news going on, and Sports Illustrated released kind of an in-depth article today on the whole Mandy Rose and Otis storyline and how that was all developed. And again, because that was like one of the big WrestleMania moments. And so it goes into interviewing Mandy and how she went into Vince's office and finally pitched it and that he loved it, and kind of broke down how they started to work together with Sonya and Otis and kind of create this whole storyline. And so it's a really great article if you want to break down how this whole partnership happened. And I love Otis. He's one of the most lovable characters right now, and I love kind of Mandy Rose and them together. So if you want to look at that, that's on Sports Illustrated. How do you guys feel about that whole storyline and their partnership and kind of love story happening?
Love it so much. We talk about it so much on the SmackDown After Show, especially leading up to WrestleMania. It was such a huge thing. Loved how they portrayed it. Such great storylines. Great way they mix all the different storylines together, including Sonya, including Dolph. So I absolutely loved it. And I love the payoff of WrestleMania when she came down, slapped the hell out of Sonya, and she was like, this is it. So love it. I want to read that article for sure.
Yeah, I'll send it to you guys.
I was definitely for it. We only have, what people fail to realize is there's only a couple of basic storylines, and then you just build off of that. If you look at Star Wars and all those other ones, it's biblical,
love
all
stories,
that stuff. Yeah. So they're all the same thing. It's just what the individual does to make the spin that to kind of bring you in. And I love the fact that this was Mandy's idea, because sometimes, and I'm sure MJ you can attest to, or if you don't want to, you don't say anything. Sometimes these storylines are just really just no creative. You know what? They're no longer friends anymore. I'm like, really? No,
right. I loved it because it went so in depth and it had so many different layers, and it really made you go, oh, there's a video. Oh, who's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, it was, it's so many levels. It feels like you're watching a soap opera. That is really what ties us all into wrestling, is the storytelling and everything going on behind it. So, and growing up, I always loved the love triangles. I always loved that. That is one thing. If I was to ever do anything with any company, honey, because I'm gonna be a star wherever I go.
Yeah.
I would love to do a love storyline. Just make sure he's hot.
Yeah. Tell us in WWE who would be the guy.
God dang.
Oh, see you.
Oh my God. There's so okay.
Putting her on the spot.
Oh my God. Okay. So this is.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. But
you don't have to.
No, I'm gonna answer it because I'm about that life. I know Punk. Okay, I would love. Okay, at NXT, I would love to be in a love storyline. This is someone who's just started having matches on Raw with Tahuti Miles. He just started out. Oh man, Tahuti, he's incredible. And now let's see on the main. Maybe I should be quiet. It's like, okay, there's like the main roster. Oh man, it's so many people.
Okay. Throw your number one, your top.
Top one, like
okay. My top one. I would love to do like a love storyline with Sheamus.
Oh, yeah.
If I
all right.
I'm here for it.
We're gonna start writing it right now.
Yes, honey. Send it to me. I'll try to help me get my job back. I'll be like, look at this. Look what I have.
Things happen on this show, so we can make it happen.
Yes, speak it into existence.
Anything else, Emily?
No, that is the best news story that I got for today.
And then we have Bryant with the star of the week.
I love that. Well, I'm super excited to talk about our star of the week, who is Nia Jax. She has been killing it since coming back after post-WrestleMania. So dominant as usual. Of course, we know she's a former Raw Women's Champion, had a great one with that title as well, but now she's just kicking butt on her way to Money in the Bank. So she has qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match, which we all know is going to be this corporate ladder climb. We're so excited to see how that's going to go. I believe it's going to be very cinematic and very, very interesting to see. But yeah, just shout out to Nia Jax because she has been killing it and can't wait to see more of her with this next run she has.
Oh my gosh. I love her. I'm so happy she's back.
Yeah, I hope this one's gonna be a dominant one for her for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Well, the time has come. It's time to pour another glass there, MJ. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate you for coming on the show. It's been a trying time. I think for all of us, on this show and outside of the show and people who are watching. So I really appreciate for you coming on the show because you could have said like, nah, I ain't doing that. We ain't.
I could have dodged you like you said I did.
Exactly.
I could have dodged a girl again.
I mean, it wasn't an official dodge. I just took it like that you were busy, so I didn't take it was no offense. I knew I was eventually gonna come on because you know why? Women's Wrestling Weekly is the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet, so we're gonna get everybody eventually. So I wasn't worried whatsoever. But I am entirely grateful and thankful for you coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it. Tell everybody where they can find you. First, they should be following you already, but where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Real MJ Jenkins, on Twitter at Real MJ Jenkins _ You can purchase my merch from a whole lot of woman.com. That's not lotta, it's a whole lot, LOT of woman. And stay tuned to my YouTube channel, Marvelous MJ Jenkins, because some new content's coming out. Yeah,
I'm definitely looking forward to that. So thank you again for joining us. And Miss Emily May. Thank you. And Miss Emily May, where can everybody find you?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Emily May Heller. I can't wait to see your YouTube channel and listen to all your jams.
Thank you.
And Mr. Santos, where can everybody find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Bryant Santos, and catch me on the SmackDown After Show.
And thank you again, MJ, for joining us. For my folks out there, my WPW Warriors, don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to us on any of the podcasts, 5 stars or better, because that's all we accept because we're #1. And for WPW Weekly, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, on IG, Twitter, etc. As for me, you can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Till next time, guys. Ciao.